Quarter-final of a major trophy coming up, Davey. What's your thoughts going into this one, welcoming St Johnstone to West Ham?
I think it's going to be a difficult game. I'm actually looking forward to the game. I was saying that earlier on in the press conference, how in a normal season, like a Livingston St Johnstone game doesn't really get you ready for the game, so to speak. Generally 5-6 games a season. So now St Johnstone, we're not in the same league as them this year, so I'm really looking forward to playing them. There's a new group of players up there, new manager, new style of play. So I'm really looking forward to the game, and hopefully we can progress to the next round. I think both teams are coming into the game with a genuine chance of progressing to the next round. So, but I think if we go out and we're the best version of ourselves, I think we've got a really good chance to get into the semi-final.
Obviously parking the league for the weekend. Is the group looking forward to this one, or are you just seeing it as another game as usual?
No, I think it's different. You can try and play it down slightly if you want, but really it holds a wee bit more significance. It's a Scottish Cup, and it's a chance to you have one game away, 90 minutes, 120 minutes away for taking your friends, family, fans to the National Stadium. So I think the boys are really looking forward to the game. I am, staff are. And it's a welcome distraction for the league. So I think the boys are genuinely really positive, really looking forward to the game.
I know we don't want to look at previous games, but how happy have you been with the run in the Scottish Cup? I know winning the Trust Trophy final, but the Scottish Cup's been quite a good run as well. Yeah,
I think, listen, we've always done well in a cup most seasons, if it's generally been the League Cup, to be honest. So as it is, you don't progress in the League Cup, but you progress in the Scottish Cup this year. So we've always had some kind of cup run to look forward to. I think last year actually we got to 2 quarter-finals, didn't we? Was it Parkhead and Ibrox, 2 quarter-finals? So, but the Scottish Cup's a big one. That's a big one. When you're growing up, it was the Scottish Cup. It's what you spoke about. So it's great to get to the Trust Trophy final, but the Scottish Cup holds a bit more value, a bit more significance. So not just honestly, really looking forward to it. And it is a welcome distraction for the league.
Obviously St Johnstone aren't having a great season, and we're fighting at the top end. Is there muchness between the two divisions? Or?
I don't think so. Now I think the longer you're out the Premier League, probably that gap potentially gets that little bit bigger, but we've just dropped out the Premier League ourselves, and if you go round the squad, there's a lot of boys in that change room that played Premier League football last year. So I don't think there's that much of a gap over a one-off game anyway. Championship, Premiership, I don't think there's anything in it. But we're no longer out of the Premier League ourselves, and we've got a lot of players that have played Premier League football in the change room, so don't really look at positions in the table, to be honest, there, the Premier League with the Championship. So I genuinely think we've got a good opportunity to progress, as will Seymour and St Johnstone will be thinking something very similar. But we're at home, going into this one, I think is that unbeaten in 11?
11, yeah.
Unbeaten in 11, 8 wins, 3 draws, and within that, so you're going into it in a good run of form, and as you know yourself, last year was difficult when you're not winning games of football, and that's kind of where St Johnstone find themselves this time round. So it is difficult, but I'm not going to underestimate them, because they probably come into the cup tie as slight favourites, being the Premier League opposition, slight favourites, but I think we're more than capable of getting through to the next round.
Is the pressure off with, going in as slight underdogs?
I don't think so. No. People talk about pressure. I think you put yourself under internal pressure anyway. Like the squad, the boys, the staff in the building. We look to try and win every game of football, so you've got that internal pressure. So league game isn't any different. Try to get a semi-final isn't really different. Going to a Trust Trophy final isn't going to be any different. It's a game of football, and you put yourself under the pressures to win that game of football. Does it really matter? It's cup, league, cup final, semi-final, quarter-final. I don't think that holds any other value. You're still putting yourself under internal pressures to go and try and win that game of football.
Stephen Kelly made a return to the starting 11 in the last game. Yeah, happy to have him back in the mix. Yeah,
I think we're touch wood, but we're sitting with a really clean bill of health just now for the first time, I'd probably say in years, to be honest. So the first team training room is really healthy at this point in time. Everybody's good to go. Liam Shaw had a wee bug this morning, but everybody's good to go, so that's extremely pleasing. We've come out this kind of real runny, tough fixtures. This kind of slows down a little bit now into going into the Airdrie game Monday, Saturday, but there's a wee bit of breathing space there. Wednesday, Monday, then the Saturday, so you've got a wee bit of breathing space there. But again, it's probably one of the reasons the boys, the training loads and the game loads have helped over the last couple of weeks to get everybody in a half decent place.
Away from the football side of things, David, there's been speculation about some investment at the club. Is there anything you can share with us about that?
No, I just know the club had been approached and been speaking to people, so there's not really a lot I can add to that, to be fair. There's people in the building last week. I got to chat to them maybe for, I don't know, half an hour, got my introductions. Never really asked too many questions. I think it's common knowledge the club needs investment. Probably fell at the two Johns and Dave's door more than myself, which I'm happy with that one, to be fair. So, I know there is potentially people interested in coming into the football club, but I think there's still a wee bit to go with that one. I don't think it's something that's going to happen overnight, but it's nice to see that there is genuine appetite for people to come in and invest money in the football club.
Whilst there's potential investment in the club, is there any scope for anything new about the ground?
We're talking to a company now, to supply all the LED screens in the shopping centre. And they're talking about coming in and putting in it's probably a high 5-figure sum in terms of the product that they're willing to put into the football club, come in and help the football club. It's nothing signed, sealed and delivered as yet, but I've had some good conversations with. I grew up in Crakeshill, moved from Govan, grew up in Crakeshill, and so be it. I went to school with, I'm not want to say too much, the boy sister, and he's a Crakeshill boy, but he's doing very well with his company now, and he's down south, and he's approached the club through a third party and said he'd like to try and help the club if he can. So he's been talking about maybe trying to put an LED screen in, and again that's something we're working away quietly behind the scenes, and if it can come off, we owe him and his company a huge debt of gratitude for trying to help the football club. But that comes from someone who grew up locally, who's went on and done well for herself and want to try and help the football club. So again, another positive story.
After speaking to Gowser a couple of times, he's been impressed with the facilities, obviously the gym, the chamber, the investment in some media stuff. It's good that the club's got facilities on site for different things.
I think what we've always tried to do this year, like myself, the maintenance boys, we'll always try and upgrade an area, if not more. We'll always try and upgrade an area within the stadium. I feel myself personally now, there's not a lot left that you could really add to that's going to enhance the stadium too much. That's not going to cost a 5-figure sum, and we can't do the work, if that makes sense. You could probably do with new floodlights and a new gantry upstairs, but it's not something that we can actually physically do. So we've always tried. John and Dave have been great in terms of we sold Shamal, and there was a wee bit of that money. I got given a wee bit of that money to try and build a kind of recovery area for the players. We managed to get the hyperbaric chamber in, managed to get a dartboard in, managed to get the Normatex in. So we always try, and John and Dave have been great, supported it, and the three lads at there. And to be fair, Kev's done a lot of work at the club over the years. So Karen White, the receptionist, Kevin White's been brilliant for the club over the years. He's come in and done a lot of work that we're not really skilled to do. But between us all, we've all tried to upgrade the stadium over the years, and I feel the stadium's in a really, really good place. A really, really good place. It's a Premier League football club in terms of the structure within the stadium, and that's testament to everybody in the building.
I know a lot of fans maybe don't see some of the access all areas. Is there going to be scope for maybe stadium tours at one point?
I think so, but again, it's the resources and who does it. But do you know what? It's actually a good point. It's probably something we've not really done, but it's probably something I think the fans would really appreciate. So for me, I've worked people, agents who come in and ask for a wee look down stuff, and I've showed them around, and they come in and go, I really, really like the facilities, it's brilliant. It's far better than what I thought it was. Ryan McGowan, great example of that. Danny Wilson came over from Colorado. I know he'd been in at Queen's Park, but Danny was hugely impressed with the facilities, and he says the outside perception of Livingston Football Club maybe isn't that. It's a wee bit old school. Like, it's no, we're far from old school. I think we're one of the most progressive clubs in Scotland, and I would bank in the Premier League and around that as well. I think we're one of the most progressive clubs. We've got some of the best facilities for the players to make them better. And I think that would actually be good for the fans to come in and see what we've actually done to the stadium over the last, I would probably say over the last 9 years. There's still bits and bobs that needs done, but there's been huge upgrades within the facilities in the stadium, because this is where we turn up for work every day. Every member of staff benefits really for every bit of work, blood, sweat and tears we put into this building. Every member of staff really, they benefit from it really, don't they? Yeah. We've done Ferranti Suite up a wee bit last year as well, boardroom extension. There's a host of stuff that's been done over the last probably 9 years. And I think the fans would like to see that, to be honest. Never thought about it before, but I'd imagine the fans would like to see the work that's been on behind the scenes. And as I said, it's not just myself, there's a lot of people within the football club that have allowed us to do that, and people like Kevin White. Kevin's come in and Kevin's done a lot of building work for us over the years, so he's been a huge help as well.